The spirits that haunt Woodstone Manor have experienced significant growth over the past 4 seasons of Ghosts, and there's a possibility that some spirits may move on in Season 5. Whether it's the discovery of their true Irish roots or the solving of the mystery of their murder, each spirit has uncovered more about themselves in the afterlife and potentially brought them one step closer to crossing over. As the show preps for its next 2 seasons, we will likely see one of the principal spirits on the show cross over, or be sucked off, as they unironically refer to it, after their unfinished ghost business is completed. With at least 2 seasons to look forward to in the future, here is a ranking of the likelihood of each spirit crossing over in Ghost Season 5. 8. Flower. The least likely of the Woodstone Manor ghosts. Sheila Carrasco's Flower sits in a chair looking puzzled from Ghost Season 4 Episode 18. Woodstone Manor's resident hippie, Flower, Sheila Carrasco, has had an eventful few seasons as an inhabitant of the property, being stuck there since she was attacked by a bear in the 1960s. Having gone missing through the beginning half of Season 3, fans assumed she may have been sucked off, only to find out she was stuck in a well, setting the table for the reappearance of Patience. Out of all the spirits, Flower seems the least likely to be sucked off in Season 5 for a multitude of reasons, most importantly that the show has never really explored much about her unfinished business or why she may still be stuck in this purgatory. Seasons 5 and 6 have the opportunity to tell more stories about Flower and her story, but it's highly unlikely she'll cross over anytime soon. 7. Alberta. Still more to explore in her story, especially with Pete. Danielle Pinnock's Alberta smiles and holds up a finger in Ghosts. With the story of her murder being the driving force in Season 2, Alberta, Danielle Pinnock, has discovered the truth about what happened to her and has spent the last 2 seasons discovering more about herself and her life. Season 4 saw a major payoff for her and her long-standing on-again off-again love story with Pete, Richie Moriarty, one that could go into Season 5 as they explore this new afterlife love. With the newest development at the end of Ghost Season 4, it's unlikely to see her transition as of Season 5, as it would seem unfair to both Pete and Alberta to see her cross over into the next realm just as they finally get together. Even though there's more story for Alberta to tell, that doesn't mean it's not more likely to see her new boo crossover first, adding another layer of unfinished business to her story. Thorfinn. The longest-known ghost won't cross over just yet. Thorfinn, Devon Chandler Long, raising his hands while speaking in Ghosts. Occupying the grounds of Woodstone Manor for over 1,000 years, Thorfinn, Devon Chandler Long, has seen every transition and every timeline play out, cursed with purgatory in the afterlife for reasons not yet known. Although we learned the truth about why he was left behind accidentally by his shipmates, Thorfinn's story hasn't explored a ton of his unfinished business, and it feels like there's still so much more to learn about the character. With so much left to be told about his story, it's less likely to see him cross over compared to the other spirits stuck on the property. Although we hope it's not too much longer for him, as 1,000 years is truly an eternity, Thorfinn seems destined for more days trapped within the bounds of the manor. 5. Isaac. His story and his unfinished business feels like it's becoming complete. Brandon Scott James Isaac looks concerned standing outside the mansion in Ghost Season 4 Episode 16. Out of all the spirits in Ghosts, the one who's seen the most personal growth and honesty is Isaac, Brandon Scott Jones. Through a personal acknowledgement of his sexuality and a called-off marriage, Isaac has now also seen his life story told in print. Although slightly different from how he initially imagined, in some aspects, Isaac's story feels like it's getting closer to completion as he begins navigating the afterlife as the truest version of himself. If Isaac continues to tie up these loose ends, and close up his unfinished business, he becomes more likely to be the one who transitions earlier than his fellow spirits. 4. Pete. We'd hate to see him go, but we'd understand if he did. Pete smiling in Ghosts. No character brings more joy to Ghosts than Pete, our favorite deceased travel agent with a heart of gold. He's had a significant number of personal triumphs throughout the show, and although a major heartbreaking story was uncovered about his wife and his best friend, he remains the heart and soul of Woodstone Manor, which makes it all the more sad to know he's one of the most likely to cross over. Pete's story has seen a multitude of ups and downs, and with it comes lots of personal growth and tie-ups for his unfinished business. Although the thread for Ghost Season 5 seemed to center around his newfound love with Alberta, it seems more likely that this could bring about Pete's permanent transition before Jay finally gets to see him. 3. Sasapis. One last thread to tie up in his afterlife story. Roman Zaragoza as Sasapis in Ghosts. Ghost Season 4 finally paid off a major arc through the show, the story of Sasapis, Roman Zaragoza, and his never-ending, 500-year virginity, and with it, one of the largest pieces of unfinished business on Ghosts. With only one story left for Snappy's to be told, it seems possible that once we find out the truth about his death, he may finally transition to the afterlife. As one of the oldest spirits on the property, Snappy's has also seen his fair share of changes while navigating an endless eternity without resolution. It seems fair that he may transition once we discover how he died, allowing him to go to the next realm knowing what love is and without fear of the other spirits giving him grief. 2. Hetty. Significant growth makes her more likely than ever to move on. Rebecca Wisoki's Hetty looking worried in Ghosts. The spirit who has seen more growth and understanding than potentially all other spirits in Ghosts is Hetty, Rebecca Wisoki. Throughout 4 seasons, Hetty's story has been one of growth and acknowledgement, and her ghost power revelation came despite both her true Irish ancestry and her dark secret about her death. Besides our number 1 choice, no spirit is more deserving or warranted of crossing over quite like Hetty, specifically because of her personal growth and revelations. If there is any more for her to uncover about her unfinished business, it's likely to be the last step before being sucked off into the next realm. 1. Trevor. T-Money has seen the most growth, and is the most likely to cross over. Trevor talking to Hetty in Ghost Season 4 Episode 12. There's been no spirit in Ghosts that has experienced more growth and revelation like Trevor, Asher Grodman, the pantless stock bro who's found grace in the afterlife. Between finding self-forgiveness about leaving his dog behind when he died and finding out his legacy continues through his professional world and his daughter, Trevor has become the best character in Ghosts. As much as we hate to admit it, T-Money is the likeliest of the spirits to transition into the afterlife this season, as his growth has brought both peace and completion of his unfinished business. We'd hate to see him go, although we're sure he'll yell their phrase for crossing over loudly too.